Hallo und herzlich willkommen bei ePIG hier auf der IWA 2025 am Stand von HQS. Unsere Konversation hier am Stand von HQS wird in Englisch stattfinden, weil die Jungs natürlich aus Bulgarien kommen und nicht in der Lage sind, flüssig Deutsch mit uns zu reden. Aber das ist kein Problem, keine Sprachbarriere bei der ePIG-GROUP. Ich bin hier mit Tony. Tony, nice to meet you.
Здравей, Макс, много се радвам, че сте тук. Много се радваме ePIG да ни бъдат наши гости. Okay, so I'm going to switch to English now, probably better for your viewers.
Yeah. Sonst müsste ich weiter in Deutsch mit dir reden. Das ist auch kein Problem.
Yeah.
See, it's got the same look.
Exactly.
So let's talk about the new products, or especially just a quick over the company. What are you doing? What are your profession for? And what are the new products for 2025 here on the IWA show?
Okay. In a nutshell, Bamex, the owner of the HQS brand, has been in metalworking for the last 30 years. We are manufacturing primarily for the military industrial complex, but we also have other we have, for example, our own Leary that works for tractors. We work with making the counterweights, things like that. So you could say that our main core business is metalworking. And because all of us are hunters at the board of the company, we decided in 2019, 2018, they actually allowed suppressors to be used in Bulgaria. In 2019, we decided that we can push our thoughts, combine it with our metalworking and create the HQS brand. So this is when it started. And today we have some of the models, some of the first models that we have, and then the successors with the brand new models that we're just launching now on IWA.
Check.
All right. So let's start with what is in front of us. In front of us is the standard caliber moderators, sound moderators or suppressors that we have. And we were going to start first with the HQS Hunter, this was the exact first model that we launched. We are talking about a 54mm tube reflex moderator, which means that the barrel goes inside of it and goes over the barrel. This one has the core is aluminum, the body is also aluminum, the shell, but it is nickel plated from the inside, which actually acts really well of resisting the carbon, so the carbon cannot lock when you're shooting with it. Something similar to how titanium operates. We also have several other things going for it. For example, the first chamber here, you can see that there is a swirl. So this swirl creates a vortex, and that vortex actually is countered to the thread of the rifle. So every shot you take is actually tightening to the rifle as opposed to loosening. The sound suppression out of the very first model that we got was 37 decibels with standard calibers, which was quite good. And the retail price was also very good. Even now, it's retailed at around 340 euros,
Check.
Give or take with MSRPs and the VATs at different countries. So this was the very first model that we launched. And then last year, we made our proprietary mesh. So this mesh that you see here is steel cast, so it's not soft mesh, which helps a lot with the life of the mesh itself. And this mesh adds another 80 grams to the weight of the suppressor, but then it gives you another 5 decibels of sound suppression. So with those 5 decibels, now we are looking at 42 decibels of sound suppression when it comes to standard calibers. To put it in layman terms, this will make a 308 sound like a 22 unsuppressed, something like that.
That's nice.
Yeah. Also,
are you able to take it apart to have a service on it, or?
Yes. So because of the nickel plating, actually servicing the suppressors or maintenance of the suppressors is very easy. We are actually against using solvents on the suppressors. So you get a key with every single suppressor in the box. You also get a spare O-ring and a tube with some grease for the threads. So the only maintenance you need to do, because of the nickel coating, is you need to take it off once you're done shooting, because the biggest enemy to all suppressors, not only ours, is condensation, moisture. So every time you shoot, because the gases slow down, they cool off and they create condensation. So once you're back from your hunting trip or you're done shooting at the range, just take it apart, wipe it with a dry cloth and close it back in. That's everything you need to do. Or if you're lazy as me, you can put it on a heater or use your wife's hairdryer. Please don't tell her that. and dry it off with the hairdryer. As long as there is heat in there, you can actually get rid of the condensation.
When you take the hairdryer, this will go curly more and more, so it will go out in the front.
Yes, it will, yes. And then you get more sound suppression.
Yes.
So this is the model that we came last year. And because we managed to achieve 42 decibels of sound suppression, we were like, okay, let's see if we can make it shorter, but then still keep the performance.
Yes.
So this year we launched the brand new model, which is called the XS, just like with the clothing. Yeah. So it's the smallest out there. And with this model, we managed to cut off 5 centimeters from the front part, which is the important part, the one that's hanging in front of the barrel.
And so it's still an over barrel.
It's still an over barrel. So your barrel will sit somewhere here, and you get 10 centimeters back, 10 centimeters front.
Check.
So it's only 10 centimeters after the barrel. And because of the X-foam material, we managed to get this one to get the exact same sound suppression as the first one, 37 decibels. So now you have a very compact package that will still give you a lot of suppression. And the same mindset follows the other line that we have, the slim line. So we know some hunters, they really like to have a very lightweight setup. Depends on the type of hunting they're doing. Some of them are more active in their hunting, or they don't want to see the suppressor in their optic.
And like you see, for our subscribers and they watch our videos, you see they just shrink down the outer part. The inner part is still the same.
Exactly. The same
manufacturing
size.
and the same size,
yes.
And they just shrink the chamber on the outside.
Yes.
So the insert is still the same. There you got the same vortex mating, CNC machining,
yep.
And looks phenomenal.
Yep. So, and you also have that thread adapter here, which is across all our models. So our models are currently only direct thread only. So with that thread adapter, it's very easy to actually remove it. It's all mechanical. Some other manufacturers, they like to glue the thread adapter, so it kind of gets married to the suppressor. With ours, you're looking at mechanical connections with 3 set screws, which is why this strip here is not threaded. The screws are connecting here, so once you take off the screws, and then you get another key that's supplied. You can actually swap threads and use one suppressor on different rifles with different threads.
It comes with a tool to screw out the insert?
The tool is sold separately, and because there could be issues with misalignment if you don't mount the thread, we like to advise our customers to use gunsmiths or the store that they bought it from.
So it's not supposed to be that the customer itself changing the insert of the thread?
Yes.
Check.
Sadly, there could be ways that they can mess with the alignment, and then you can get baffle strikes. But it's a simplistic operation.
Yep.
So the slim model, yes, as you said, the volume of the moderator is different. So here you have 40 millimeter diameter of the suppressor. This one will give you around 32 decibels of sound suppression. This one was the first one. Then with the inclusion of the X-foam, we managed to give it up to like 35, 36 decibels. And this year we created this one, which I really like for driven hunts. This is the XS model, the Slim XS. Again, with the X-foam 5 centimeters shorter, you're getting between 28 and 29 decibels of sound suppression, which is good enough to be hearing safe, so you don't have to wear hearing protection when you're driven hunting, but it's so light, it's only 330 grams, that it doesn't throw the balance of the barrel or the rifle at all. So when you pick the rifle, you can still keep it as steady as it's without the suppressor.
And even with the size of this suppressor, it says 27 decibels is good performance.
It is. And because they're all in the standard group, all of them are capable of handling, not recoils, but calibers up to 93x62. So standard actually goes way high.
Yep.
And then we have the Magnum calibers, the Magnum caliber group, where I can show you in a minute.
Ja, wir gehen direkt weiter, wie der Toni gesagt hat, mit der weiteren Produktlinie von HQS und let's do it.
All right, so this is the Magnum line of suppressors that we have. They have several things going on for them. First, this one is rated up to 338 Lapua Magnum, so it can handle a lot. We did it with 2 chamber designs. As you can see, there is a ring in the middle, but it's a single core. So when it comes to rigidity, it's actually very good on high pressures. Why we did it in 2 chambers? Because this is the expansion chamber. A lot of the gases actually come here, and we wanted to trap those gases. And as you can see, this one here, I don't know if it's going to be visible on the camera, but there are valves all across this ring that let off the excess pressure. This also helps a lot with recoil mitigation, especially with Magnum calibers. You know, recoil can be a little bit harsh. So this is the expansion chamber, and this is the suppression chamber. So with the suppression chamber, once we've cooled down and slowed the gases, then it's much easier for this chamber to actually suppress them. So you're getting around 35 to 40 decibels across the line of the Magnum suppressors. But the best thing is that they work really well with recoil mitigation. So one of our chief engineers, he's using an 8x68 Magnum Blaser rifle, and when he shoots with this, the recoil is actually less than a 308. It barely moves, but when it's without, it kicks like a mule. I can tell you, I tried it. So this is the standard model, the Special, it's called. And then we have the Special Slim, which is exact same operation, again, smaller volume, a little bit less recoil reduction, a little bit less sound reduction, but it's much lighter because some people actually like to go with 300 Win Mag on driven hunts, so they want to have something slimmer. And then we have the ultimate suppression unit. This one is called the Special Impact. And it's again 2 chambers, but it's not a single core. Actually, you can remove this one. I cannot now because it's been cut.
Yep.
So the best thing about this one is for countries that suppressors have to be legislated, or you have to have them on a license. So this is the license part, the expansion chamber, and this front chamber is an accessory, so you can replace it. And usually the suppression chamber is the one that suffers the most when it comes to a lot of shooting. So for example, if you shoot this out after 5,000, 6,000 rounds, then you can just buy the chamber itself and don't have to apply for another license.
Check.
Or what you can do is change different calibers, so you can buy different chambers for different calibers.
So this is the universal part, the main part is universal, yes. So you are able to shoot every Magnum caliber.
Yes.
It's on the market, and yes. You can switch with the front part to a specific kind of
yes.
caliber.
Yes,
that's
exactly.
Smart.
Exactly. And then to finalize the review, we will show you the front barrel mounted. We have a front barrel mounted option, which is called the HQS Impact. This one, as it says, it's very good for Kiplauf or for Stutzen rifles or for AR-15s and AKs, wherever you could get them. So it has the exact same operation as the Magnum calibers, meaning that it vents here gas, which makes it very good on the suppression rate and very good on the recoil mitigation rate. It has the exact same chamber as the large one that I just showed you. And it works really well even when it comes to rapid fire.
Yeah.
So I have one that I use on my AR-15 for sometimes on the range and sometimes hunting, and I'm really liking the way it suppresses because it gives 30 decibels.
It's a hell of a sound reducing because when everybody knows when it comes to 5.56 or something like this, yes. You really have to. It's really hard to suppress a cartridge like this.
Yeah, it's a very high velocity round, so it's a bit harder.
Yeah. But you also shrink down the gas chamber in front because
yes,
it depended. So
exactly. And there is also the vortex inside, but we've done it in a different way because we didn't have the space. So you still have the vortex that is counter-threading it. So even if you do rapid fire with your AR-15, it's not going to come loose.
Check. Any more else? So
these are actually the exact same as this one.
Okay,
so
this is just for display.
Yeah. So this is pretty much everything that we have on the line right now. We have a lot of new things coming in the next year or so. So we'll for sure keep in touch and show your viewers. But for now, this is the offerings that we have for the hunting market.
Wie ihr schon gesehen habt, oder wie es der Toni gut erklärt hat, haben wir hier bei den Magnum-Dämpfern natürlich ein Feature dabei, was die meisten Dämpferhersteller nicht haben, und zwar die Reduktion des Rückstoßes, speziell für die Magnum-Kaliber. Und durch dieses Feature mit den Bohrungslöchern hier und beziehungsweise der Schnittstelle von der hinteren Kammer zur vorderen Kammer kann man hier nochmal dem Rückstoß bei den Magnum-Kalibern entgegenwirken. Absolut cooles Engineering, ein geiles Feature, speziell für die Leute, die natürlich auch jagdlich mit Magnum-Kalibern unterwegs sind. Ja, auf jeden Fall sehr coole, innovative Dämpfer hier aus Bulgarien. Toni, thank you for your presentation. There's nothing more left to say, just for me. Wenn ihr Fragen zu den HQS-Produkten habt oder wo es die zu kaufen gibt, dann schreibt uns auf jeden Fall in die Kommentare. Den Link zum Hersteller blenden wir euch auf jeden Fall mit ein. Wenn euch das Video gefallen hat, lasst ein Like da, abonniert den Kanal und das Allerwichtigste, drückt die Glocke für die neuesten IWA 2025 Videos. Das war's von uns. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.